What? What? Oh, bah. Oh, there we are. Okay, guys. Super Milesio here. Getting started right away. This is the final video, the final live stream in my my Heart on Fire series, where I go over all the songs from my latest album, which is called Heart on Fire. But you know that already. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Been getting this done over the past week or so, and it's finally coming to a close. And I'm excited to get to this. And at the end of this stream, I'll briefly talk about my sort of plans going forward, musically and YouTube-wise. Loose plans, nothing's nailed down. But yeah, there it is. And this is by far the most dense, harmonically speaking, of any of the songs so far. So I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. I don't know how deep I want to get and how long I want to linger on specific things, because I could easily just noodle for every single chord in this piece, and I don't want to do that. So I'll give you all the things that I think are worth mentioning and important, and talk about whatever I think makes sense. But yeah, we'll just sort of play it by ear, as I always do. I don't have any voice memos to play you. I don't have any instruments to show you, because this is just an a cappella song. So I believe we can dive right into the Logic session, and we'll get started. There's a little bit of background, but it's all in the Logic session. So let's go ahead and do that. We're making record time for that, huh? Barely 2 minutes in here. Boom. And here it is, guys. Let's do a quick region count, just to say we did. And oh, sorry, hang on one sec. Okay. And there it is, 649 regions. Not too bad, not too bad. So, the idea for this song, of course, I like to... Hey, what's good, Jamie? Ado said he was going to try and join us today, so hopefully he does. So, anyways. I usually like to throw in at least one a cappella song, usually two. Because, that's my roots. That's how I got started with all this stuff, and it's always a bunch of fun. So, and I'm still trying to do arrangements and stuff like that. I did a few last year. I meant to do an extra one for Christmas, but you know what? We'll save that for this year, I think. And yeah, so I knew I wanted to do an a cappella thing, and there was a very specific inspiration for it that I'm going to share with you right now. It's in the Logic session. So, of course, I had to pay homage to the man himself, Jacob Collier. This is the Light for Days t-shirt. He just announced the Light for Days tour, and he is coming to Tennessee, and I'm going to really try and get on that. So that's very exciting. But, I have to mention him at least once every single video, and probably more than once today. But as far as I know, he's never officially released this. I think it's purely just something he was testing out. He just... just as he does, probably just a normal afternoon. And it's this video that he did. I think it's Berkeley. It's a masterclass video. It's about an hour and a half or 2 hours long. It's a lengthy video where he, about 10 years ago, he went to this conference at Berkeley. I don't know if that's what you call it. It was really just, a masterclass. He showed up, he answered questions, he showed off his Logic stuff. The whole video is just pure gold. And just so much to absorb, and I've watched it a good few times, all the way through. But, as he was talking about his sort of process, he outlined sometimes he would go into Sibelius and other softwares, and he would fully, transcribe out or write out his arrangement. And then he would go and record it pretty much just as it's written. And then he started exploring sort of a more improvisational approach, where he just sort of throws paint at the wall proverbially and sees what happens. And as he was talking about that, he showed off this little thing, which again I don't think has ever been released. I don't think it's been publicly played as far as I know, except for this one video. And the file was called My Heart, wouldn't you know it. And let me just go ahead and play this for you again, since I don't think this has been released. I don't think this will get copyright flagged, but just know, of course, all credit to Jacob Collier. This is that. I'm just going to play it for you. My heart.
so full. My head so spent. How mine so open. A face so fair.
And there it is. Not you leaking his unreleased songs. Look, he leaked this himself. Okay, I'm just paying it forward. So there is that. There it is. Here's it. Isn't that just unfair? It's just so nice, and he's probably just whipped that up in like 10 minutes or so. And listen to that, and then listen to my song. You will definitely hear some DNA. You'll definitely hear some inspiration from that. In fact, some of the voicings are almost identical. They're usually transposed in a different key. I would say that definitely starts off in an F sharp sort of feel.
My heart.
Right. Something like that. And that's another thing. We have the piano here. You won't really be able to see my hands very well, but I am going to be going to the piano and playing you some stuff as we go, as I deem it appropriate. But I'm just going to leave that there, and maybe we'll revisit it a few times, but I did want to acknowledge that because definitely taking some huge inspiration. But I'd say we get right into this, huh? What do you say? I'm going to be trying to drop little music theory nuggets on you as we go, as best I can. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit. I was trying to get you to be able to see more of the keyboard, but that's futile anyways. So let's see what we got here.
My heart.
Again, a very similar start to his, just transposed. But let's break that down a little bit. What we have, if I just play you this,
My.
what does that sound like to you?
My.
Because it sounds to me a lot like this. Oops. Right? So that is an E major 7 chord. But then, of course, what do we have up here?
My heart.
We have a B flat. So that's the sound right there. It's very cool to me. So in terms of an E chord, you can see it's actually right up there at the top. This is a little handy tool that tells you what chord you're playing. Sometimes it's not quite accurate, but E major 7 sharp 11. And we go from there to this. Oops. You'll have to forgive my lack of proficiency on the piano. But I like that sound because it's a classic, like that E sound is like your flat 6, you know. And so I love that being your opener. Yeah. So full disclosure, you're going to see a lot of sharp 11s here. You're going to see a lot of sharp 5s, a lot of flat 9s, as I said. I really love my flat 9s. I'd say those are the main ones, right? Yeah, sharp 11, sharp 5 or flat 13, whatever you want to call it. A lot of inverted chords. So, yeah, I've already rambled a lot, and we're just on the first 2 chords.
My heart.
Yeah, so that's an A flat major 7 chord, but we have the F in there. So that's another thing. A lot of natural 13s as well. I'd really just love that sound. And then we have this.
So full.
So this one we go up to the B flat. So
full.
And what do we have, guys? What do you know?
Full.
We have another. That's a sharp 11 right there. Is there an E? I don't think there's an E flat in there. Yes, there is. Yeah. So we're really filling that chord over D major over G minor over C major play. D major over G minor over C major. Okay, Kate, thank you for that.
Laden and labor.
Ooh, so right there we have, what is that? That is a B flat major 7 chord. Or, sorry, dominant 7. And what you might notice is that that 7 is very flat. Because I am trying to justly tune. Again, this is all by ear. There's no pitch correction going on here. And so I'm trying to do that. This actual bit here, this laden and labored,
Laden and labor.
is inspired by a Take Six's arrangement of Come Unto Me. Come unto me, all ye that labor. I'm pretty sure that chord is pretty much the same there. So that's a little reference there. One thing I forgot to mention. No pitch correction unlike your last one. Ha ha ha. Yeah. And what was I? Kate, you distracted me. Yeah, so as far as timing goes, this is very arrhythmic, if that's a term. Honestly, if you're going to transcribe this, you could pretty much do it however you want it. I don't even know what time signature you'd call it. The metronome, if I turn this on, it's...
Laden and labor.
I mean, bless its heart. The metronome's really trying, but it's doing nothing. So it's very much like taking your time with the phrases. It doesn't really matter. There's not a defined time signature or tempo, really. Kind of just totally, kind of like Jacob's, you know, it really feels like he's just sort of taking as much time as he wants for each phrase, which is kind of what I tried to do here.
Labor to open.
Boom. So we have two. What chord is that?
To.
So that's like G and an F sharp.
Open.
So so that's like, is there really 2 F sharps in there? Two. I guess there is. There is an E as well. I guess it's kind of like that. And then we have something like, so I'm just kind of doing a chromatic motion. I'm not really sure what that is. I just threw a bunch of notes in there.
To open.
Yeah. That's kind of like the first chord of You and I. Anyone?
Open.
Jacob Collier's thing. But then, of course, you know, we have... Yeah. It's a nice sound there.
To keep in my chest.
But it's kind of unexpected because...
To open, to keep in my...
Because, you know, we've established this A-flat sound and we've already gone all over the place. But this is our sort of flat 7, but it's a major sound. Major 7, right there. And so I chose to drop out with the harmony right there because I'm immediately going to that G natural, which doesn't really fit with... If I were to linger too strongly on that chord, it would be a little too much. So I drop out with the harmony and I come back in here. It's a little bit of a lull.
In my chest.
Yeah.
Open in my chest.
Okay, right. So we have chest.
Keep in my chest.
Yeah. So you have some options there, right? So if we're in A flat and I want to go, you know, to That's the stuff there, right? So you could just, and that could lead you back home. But I chose not to do that because we have that E flat note there. There's a lot of options there, so I chose to go for the, but I chose to do that. So it's a very classic sound. You have your secondary dominant there. It's like a major 6 chord. What would that be? Secondary would be like 5 of 3, I think. No, it wouldn't be 5 of 3. It'd be 5 of 2. Yeah, that's my bad. So if you're an A flat and you play that, where do you want to go from there? Probably there, which is your minor 2 chord. So that's how you think about secondary dominance, is where are you trying to go? If you're an A flat, then it kind of naturally feels like you're trying to go there. But we're not going there. We instead go. No, we don't. We go. Right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So
My chest.
we have that F major sound, but we have this very important movement in there. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, that one too. So we land on that third there. It's quite important. But then we also have that, which is your minor 9th. It's one of my favorites, guys. So we have. Oh, Kate likes it. Well, then I've already won.
Keeping my chest.
Right? So that feels like you might want to go to a B flat minor, but we don't. We go here.
Too heavy to wear on a sleeve.
Right. So again, what I was saying.
Too heavy.
We have this. Some combination of that. And I really like that when you use the flat 6 to flat 7 1, include a major 7 in there. It's such a nice sound. There's a song from Tomodachi Life. It's an E flat, and it's like the me creation theme. It's like. And then it goes. So it goes. And I always loved that, leading you back up to that sort of thing. So that's something you should definitely try, is including those. I think we have the 13 in there as well. Do we?
Too heavy. Too heavy.
Yeah. So, or I guess that's a 9. Yeah, we have the 9 in there.
Too heavy.
Do we have this?
Too heavy.
I guess we don't. Yeah. So.
Too heavy.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
Too heavy to wear on.
And then on.
On a sleeve.
Yeah, I don't quite know what that is.
On.
So it's like.
On.
Could that be? I don't know. Some sort of B thing.
On a sleeve.
Okay, so let's listen to just that much. Recap. I know I'm all over the place.
To keep in my chest. Too heavy to wear on a sleeve.
It's just what I like to do. You have ample opportunities, a lot of opportunities. Excuse me. Sorry.
Too
when you repeat a note.
Too heavy to wear on a sleeve.
It's one of my favorite hymns is Be Thou My Vision, and the end of it, Be still my vision, O ruler of all. You have 3 notes that are the same, I guess in that case. I've usually heard it in E flat, but it can be in other keys too. And I always love the ending of that, and when you reharm it, because you have 3 E flats, and you have so much, interesting potential to do something interesting when you have a repeated note in your melody. You can swing some crazy stuff under it. So I always want to end that song in some wild ways. So that's kind of what I'm doing here.
Wear on a sleeve.
So we just have that A flat over and over. It's just too good. And let's move on here.
My heart.
Okay, so I like this. Let me show you exactly what's going on here. You can sort of break this down in, I guess, a few ways. Again, I like to try to think of things functionally as much as possible. Sometimes I truly don't know, and I'm just kind of throwing stuff around, and it sounds cool. But in this case, if you take a listen to just this part. What is that? That's an E flat chord, I guess, in second inversion, right? So we're trying to go back to A flat, right? So E flat makes sense, right? But that's not all we have. So what do we have down here? So that adds some extra color to it. Again, this is something I really like to do, is you take a dominant 7 chord and you put it in third inversion, meaning the 7th is on the bottom. So in the case of like C dominant 7, you could play it like this. Kind of boring. You can play it like this. Nope, don't play it like that. That to me is much more exciting. If you want to go there, or that's terrible. That's not the same thing. So anytime, and it's especially cool when you go from like the 4 chord to the 5 chord in whatever key you're in. So if I'm in C and I go, right? That to me is a very cool sound. So in this case, I'm playing that E flat, but I have that because I knew I wanted to land here. Something like that. So that motion there, pretty strong. So, but then I add the F just for extra color. But then on top, we have, ooh. So that's the chord. And then we land here, I think. And then what'd I tell you guys? Minor 9th. Back at it again.
My heart.
So I guess that B natural up top is what is that? I guess you'd call it a sharp 5. There's not actually, well, there is. So you've got a B flat in there as well. So I don't think you'd call it a sharp 5. I guess you'd call it a flat 13. I think that's the difference there. I'm not entirely sure. Make a song without a minor 9th. There's got to be a few on this album, I think, and in the past. It's not always. Yeah. But that's the beautiful thing to me about doing a major 7 chord with the major 7 on the bottom, is you get that nice tear-jerking thing. What was I saying? Yeah, I think the difference, like, because of a sharp 5 and a flat 13, I think it would be harmonically the same, or inharmonically the same. But I think you call it a flat 13 when you already have a natural 5 in the chord, I think, or if it has to do with which octave it's on. regardless, that is what we have there. So it's like a E flat dominant 7 with an F in there and a B natural on top. But functionally, it's just a modification of the dominant chord.
My heart.
And then, having that G in there, which clashes with this,
My heart
is nice to me.
is set in stone.
Not too much to talk about there. We have this. And listen to that. If you can manage to get this pretty in tune with itself, you can hear the harmonics in there. Like, I definitely hear the ooh. And there, it's not actually playing. It's just the low D flat, but you can hear. I think it's pretty cool. And so that's just a nice D flat chord. You can sing that? Okay. But we have some extra motion. I guess it's all up here. So as an exercise, it's also a good thing to do. Whatever chord you're gonna land on, you can try and like land on the chord, but a few of those inner notes are like misplaced by a semitone either way, and then you can resolve after that. I'm not gonna show you because I've already gone on enough tangents. We'll save it, but try that. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. And then
Graven and grooved.
that is a weird one, sort of inspired by Jacob Collier's Pure Imagination. I don't think it's not the same voicing exactly, but essentially what that is B flat over E major, I think. So it's a really nice sound. And yeah, and see the chord thing at the top is trying to define it as an E chord. So E7 flat 9 sharp 11. You could define it that way if you want to, but I like to just think of it as B flat over E. So, but whatever floats your boat.
Sculpted by sights unseen.
And we choose to do something different here. We do a major 3 chord, which I think is your 5 of 6, right? Because that wants to lead you to your 6. Yeah, makes sense. So that is a C. If you just play those. Yeah, we go C. Can you sing that, Kate?
Sights unseen.
But again, we have so we have an E flat in there, but we have that too. So what do you call? Do you still call that? Is that a sharp 9? I think because you can't call it a minor third since there's already a major third in the chord. So it's that. It's a nice chord. It's a nice chord on guitar too. James Taylor plays it in on the 4th of July. There's a sharp 9 chord in there. It's really nice.
Faded by futures untold.
So there we go for a nice tritone sub.
Faded by future.
So we have an A major 7
By
chord.
futures untold.
Right? Pretty standard.
Faded.
So that is
Faded.
like an F minor.
Faded by future.
Yeah, so F minor something. And then whatever that is. And so
Faded by futures untold.
that right there is pretty much the first 2 verses. So I apologize for being all over the place, but I don't know how else to approach this song since it's so wacky. Where's Ado? I don't know. I told Ado I'd probably stream around this time. He said it wasn't a school day, so he could make it. But, you know, people get busy on Saturdays. It is life.
I'll be.
So we're kind of leaving the bass out for these first two chords.
I'll be.
And
I'll be.
and we have
I'll be.
that nice obliqueness.
I'll be.
So on the bottom here, we have our fifth.
I'll be well.
And the bass is so just, what's the word? You know, the bass is so disparaged for being left out that he has to come in extra strong here.
Be well until well.
Yeah, so we have,
I'll be well, the well is dry.
right, so, and again,
I'll be well.
but, so that matches with it. We're singing a D flat chord, but then,
Until,
ooh, that's something different. So here we've moved up to an E flat. This is what I was just talking about.
until,
Right there is an E flat chord.
until.
But we have this on the bottom, this on the bottom. Can I hit it? Ba, yeah, so we've stayed on the fourth degree in the bass, but we've moved up to the fifth everywhere else, so we get that third inversion sound. And then we move naturally into our first inversion root chord. Is that what that is? Or is that already a minor? I don't know. But there's some important movement in here. So for the first time, we're not all kind of singing the same stuff at the same time. So we have Until the Well is Dry, and then we add an extra Well is Dry. So
I'll be
until the well is dry.
well is dry.
So we have, you know, some sort of call and response stuff going on. Let me see what you guys are doing here.
Until the well is dry.
Until the well is dry. So they come in late as well.
Until the well is dry. Until the well is dry.
So they land on dry at the same time, but we have well is dry and then until the well is dry.
Until the well is dry.
And that is kind of inspired by another piece, which is Set Me as a Seal by Rene Clausen. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's the arranger of it. It's a beautiful arrangement. Did it in high school. And I think a few years ago I recorded a version of it for my channel. It's not spectacular. That was still when I was just murdering everything with flex pitch. I don't want to speak disparagingly about pitch correction, even though it might seem like I am sometimes, and that's not my intention. It's really just like, it's not even out of principle or out of pride. I legitimately think it has completely changed my sound since I stopped using it in a way that I can never go back. Like, truly, I mean, there's still some things I don't know if I could achieve that I used to be able to do with pitch correction, but honestly, that's just kind of the way it is now. Like, I don't see myself ever using it again, just because I'm on the other side and I know what it feels like to do all this stuff completely without it and without any of those artifacts, and it gives me so much more flexibility. So I don't want it to ever seem like I'm like talking trash about it, since I did that for years and I defended it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think Kate feels differently based on her chats. But anyways, we kind of got off on a tangent there. That's fine. So yeah, Set Me as a Seal, great. And it goes, set me as a seal upon your arm, as a seal upon your arm, or something like that, where there's an extra little bit at the end that I always liked. So there you go.
I don't need a guru, don't need a guide.
Well, we did it again, didn't we? This is kind of similar to
I don't need a guru, don't need a guide.
and yeah, again, we're using the major 7 chords there.
Don't need a guide. Don't need a guide.
So it's a great sound to go from like, instead of going straight home or even to that, you go. Like that's a very Mario Galaxy sound, you know? So, you know, it's like, I can't do it. It's something like that. I'm butchering it, but that's like a Mario Galaxy sound. And so that's what we do. I don't need a guru. I don't need a guru. And we still have this note. We have that in it. And then we have. Yeah. So it's kind of similar to Everything's Gonna Drop, I think. Great turns to greater. Na, 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 na. Yeah, so it goes. Let's see. Yeah. So I like that sound a lot, and I will always gravitate towards that. Thank you, Mario Galaxy.
Don't need a guru, don't need a guide, chord passion.
And I believe it's kind of hard to hear this.
Call it passion.
Yeah, so we're doing that again. We're having the major 7 in the bass because we stay on an A flat chord.
Chord passion.
With some of the inner voicings are moving.
Chord passion.
Yeah.
Call it passion.
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 And so,
Passion.
I guess, yeah, we have a G, 2 G's in there, but yeah, we are effectively kind of doing this whole thing. Yeah? Something like that.
Call it passion. Call it pride.
Ooh.
Call it pride.
What's going on there, y'all?
Pride.
That's a C chord, C major.
Pride.
With an extra flat 7th, so B flat is right here.
Pride.
But that's not quite a B flat.
Pride.
Because it's justly tuned, it's nasty.
Pride.
But listen to how just
Pride.
like how just almost like everything just disappears. It's like
Pride. Pride. Pride.
it has the purity of like a 5th or an octave. It's cool. I can't get enough of it. And that took a long time. When I do stuff like this, I normally save the 7th for last. I usually work my way, like I'll do the melody, then I'll do the bass, and then I'll fill in the inner voicings bottom to top. But when I have to do this, when I justly tune, I have to like, because I'm not thinking in my head, like, let me sing this 30 cents flat. I don't necessarily have that ability. But if I hear a 5th, I can place that 3rd right in there, like justly tuned. I'm not thinking, okay, 13 cents flat. Like, there's no way. Even with perfect pitch and quite a lot of ear training, like I cannot just dial in my voice to the exact cent. And so I start with this C major rock solid,
Pride.
and with that justly tuned 3rd as well. And then I can go in and place that 7th.
Pride.
It's still difficult. I have to do it quite a bit, but usually I can get pretty close. And let's talk more about that decision then, because, right, and then you might expect us to go here, or even like, yeah, so like either there. Maybe even, yeah, C minor. But we don't. We go, like I could even see, like it might be expected to go to just a C major like that. But we go the extra mile and make it extra weird. Yeah. And that was just something, again, reharming sometimes for me is just as simple as listening to that note and thinking, okay, what other chords could go with that? And a G, just think of what chords go with the G, and you'll end up with a lot of it. Turns out you can probably make any chord work with the G if you really try hard enough. That's what Jacob Collier would say.
Pride, you'll never know what's inside.
Whoa.
You'll never know.
Again, I like this. I think it's here.
You'll never know what's inside.
Yeah, but we have motion.
You'll never know what's inside.
Nice.
You'll never know what's inside.
Yeah.
You'll never know what's inside.
So we have some guys hitting what's inside a little earlier. These ones sort of hit it like on a syncopated beat.
Never know what's
inside. And these guys hit it right on the beat. What's inside?
Never know what's inside.
Right? And the bass.
You won't know what's inside.
You won't know what's inside.
You won't know what's inside.
So there's like 3 different things happening. We have.
You'll never know what's inside.
And then of course we end on this like. It's like a weird sus sort of sound. What is that saying? Yeah, A flat sus 2 over G. I don't know if I'd call it that. I was more so thinking about it like an E flat chord. I think there's a D flat in there. But again, it's extra ambiguous and sort of uncertain with that third on the bottom. If it is an E flat chord of some kind, that's first inversion, third on the bottom. We leave that in there. And then, are there any other notes I'm missing?
Know what's inside.
Yeah, there's an F.
Inside. Inside. What's inside?
Yeah, there is a D flat and there's an F. So honestly, you could define that a number of ways. Ultimately, doesn't really matter. So. How would you define that? Okay, now it's saying E flat 7, 9, 11 over G. That's probably close to how I'd define it, but again, like, it really could be whatever. And is this the first instance? I did plan some stuff out with this grand piano. Let's see if this. Hello? I muted it. Yeah, so I think some nights, like when it was, yeah, there it is. When it was too late to record, I would come here and like just sort of jot some ideas down, or maybe I'd play them out beforehand to see if it was going to work, because sometimes that's quicker than like recording all the parts and then I figure out it doesn't work, I have to delete them and start over. I'll just noodle here and figure it out. Stop blurring. Please. Ugh. Oh, my back. Oh, it's starting to get warm again in the year. Springtime is 6 days away, as is my birthday. That's kind of a frightening thought, guys. You know? Look at this crushed can and focus on me. Want to go to Texas Roadhouse? I don't know, Kate. When are you guys going? Because I need to finish this.
You'll never know what's inside.
Whoa.
You'll never know what's inside.
So I'm not going to try and talk about each one of these chords here. I'll play you what the bass is doing.
You'll never know what's inside.
So again, I'm kind of trying to deceive you a little bit because
you'll never know what's inside.
What is it? It's kind of just that. And so from there, that's an E flat chord. We could easily go. Then we're back home, right? But we don't. Instead, we use that as to go to F major. So now we've completely changed tonalities there. So if you imagine it being like, you'll never know what's gosh. You'll never know what's inside. You know, just getting back to A flat, but we don't do that.
You'll never know what's inside.
Again, that's just, I think that's pretty much, there's maybe a 9 in there. Is there a very shy major 7? No, there's a D in there. But I don't think there's a major 7. Yeah, so again, I love my 13s. It's just, that's not the exact voicing. Something like that. And now we are actually in F major. We've taken a turn, guys.
My heart.
So that is the exact same voicing as the beginning. It's just pitched down, and I'll even prove it to you if I go up 3 semitones.
My heart.
Right? And if I play you the beginning again, naturally.
My heart.
It's the same thing. I wanted to hear it again in a different key. And it was really nice. Oops, went back too far. Where is it? Stop it.
My heart outsmarts my head.
Ooh, and that progression was like very much inspired by the Jacob thing. So I just want to talk about this. That chord. Listen for. Let's go from the bottom. So we have an A, F sharp, D, still a D, a G, more G's, more G's, and then a B natural. What a chord right there. I love that. So it's no. It's that. So it's calling that G major 7 over A. Sure, I mean, you could call it that, but specifically, again, with that right there, the major 7 on the bottom, and then we put an A in there. You could also call it like, just from that, it's almost like a D major voicing or a B minor voicing. But that G in there really throws it off. So I would probably define it as some sort of G chord, even though this is very much D. But I love that sound. And then, ooh, that chromatic motion from the A to back to the A flat. So we couldn't stay away from A flat for too long.
Outsmarts my head.
I think this whole thing might be, is it?
Outsmarts my head.
So not the whole thing, but I love that, B flat to A flat. Ooh, it's weird, isn't it? But yeah, that. It's just like again with this whole thing. Just adding all those extra voicings to make it more of an ambiguous sound.
Knows what it wants, not what it needs. What it needs.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Not what it needs. Knows what it wants.
Yeah, knows what it wants. Playing around with just an F major sound.
Knows what it wants.
Just changing the voicing of it or the motion.
Knows what it wants.
Again, with the static note up top, so you can play around with the stuff underneath it. So I'd call that some sort of D flat voicing, or maybe not, since there's B flat minor voicing probably.
Not what it needs.
And then that is. I'd probably call that. I'd have to check. Yeah, what all the notes that are in there, but I think I think it's like... Yeah, I'd call that some sort of E-flat voicing. But over the G again. And then we're right back into another My Heart. Oh, I think that might be the same voicing also that we had before. Yes, it is. But again, I wanted to hear it again in F. So it... That's the whole thing, right? No. Is that it? Yeah, something like that. So with the embedded C major sound in there. Oh, I forgot the D. Can't forget the D. So, that. C9 flat 13 something something. Ah, but we do something a little different here. And wait, what are you? Yeah, you stay on the A. So instead of... That's what we did last time, right? So it's still the F sort of sound, but of course we have that in the bass, so it is kind of ambiguous. But we seal the deal and say, no, we are actually going to minor with that extra bass movement. So instead of just saying on that A, we go to a D minor. So minor 6. Yeah. So this right here, that, or this would be, that right there, it does almost suggest D minor, but it's still technically, it's F major, you know, in first inversion with a major 7, it's just a weird voicing. But when we add this, now it definitely becomes a D minor thing. It's just, that note makes it a little weird, but I like it. I like weird. Is still. That's another important motion in there. So we end up landing on that right there. Major 2 chord, 5 of 5, G major. Is still beating. And where to go from there but a C chord, right? Is still beating. So rarely do I add notes on top of the melody. The melody's kind of supposed to be floating on the top and for the most of this, for the majority of it. Is still beating. But I did think it was missing something. Beating. That would be serviceable. That's is that minor 9th again. But I knew it needed that, and so I added that up here. Because what you could say is that is an A major sound. Just those notes. It's an A. It's like, you know, whatever that is, and so it's like you could call it if you wanted to. A major over C dominant something. Still beating. Again, if you want to. It's just fun. Beating me down. Yeah, so again, when I'm saying the word down, it just feels natural to do this. Beating me down. Just go down, right? Beating me down. And we have some more inspiration from Take 6 here. Down,
Down.
Where else is it doing? Down.
Down.
It just felt like something they would do, and I think it's beating me.
Beating me down.
Me. Where are those?
Down.
Somewhere here. Gosh, I keep doing this. I'm gonna get rid of you.
Beating me down.
Is Take 6, Take 5, and 6/4? Not at all. Take 6 is a group of singers. A group of 6 singers that actually met at the Aeolians Choir. How about that?
Beating me down.
Down. And so then we have that.
Beating me down.
So, landing on that flat 6 voicing. Pretty nice.
Pounding or drawn.
Again, this is a combination of several things I've just talked about already.
Pounding or
Ooh.
drawn.
So again, we land on that third inversion. Yeah. And wouldn't you know, I can't exactly play it on the piano because that is that bottom note is also very flat. It does not exist on the piano, and I'll prove it to you. Doesn't match, right? So it's... That's not what it is. What is it? It's A flat, yeah. So we have... Or is it, yeah, it's... Again, and what you end up with there is a major 7 with the 7th on the bottom, but specifically coming from here, that's an epic sound to me. And of course you want to go here. I love that. What is it? I think Handel's Messiah does that in one of the movements that I really like. And I did the Messiah actually this past year with the symphony chorus. It sounds like I'll get to do it again this coming Christmas. This was one of the this was my first time hearing the entire Messiah, and there's one movement that just involves the soloists and the orchestra. So the first time I got to hear it was during the concerts, and it does something like that. It's I think it's like da da. No. I don't know, I'm butchering it. If you know the Messiah, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Na, 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 na.
While I idly hum.
Yeah, here.
While I idly hum.
It's a little interesting.
While I idly hum.
Now, I chose a really dense kind of voicing there that really works best when it's very delicate, I think. So if I were to sing that full voice, it might not sound very good. And I've talked about this before, but I really like, rather than going always like your flat 6, flat 7, 1, so like, sometimes that sounds a little too epic, like too much like Mario Galaxy, and I don't always want that. So I've really been enjoying this. Instead of you go what is it? I'm not even gonna be able to remember now. Oh yeah. So it's like your 4 chord, but over the third, so it's still in first inversion. When you keep that F there, and you can even do like that motion is very strong, so you go like, yeah. Isn't that nice to me? I can't describe it, but it's less of like a Mario Galaxy sound and more of just like a sure-footed trek to your home base, and I like that. I did that in the Cherry Blossom Tree and in my piece Mountain Rain, if you've heard that. It's like a choral piece that I did. So there you go.
Home, my heart.
Yes.
My heart.
Again with the Oh, I forgot I did that. Yeah, that is a weird one, isn't it? So that is strange. So it does have a B flat in there. I don't know if that's the exact voicing, but there's also an F at the bottom. What other notes am I missing? Oh, yeah. The E natural. Oh, that's... So, you might think it's like an F major 7 sound, but we have a B flat in there instead, and a G. So it's very ambiguous.
My heart.
But then we go even further. So again, I wanted you to feel like we're almost home with the F in the bass.
My heart.
But we're not, because it's still. It's like, no, that ain't home yet.
My heart.
Ooh. Let me pick that apart real quick. Okay, so A, F sharp. Is this the same thing I did earlier? So, so that suggests D major to me. But then, yeah, F natural. Weird. And then, no, this is slightly different than before. So now, instead of, I think last time it was, or something like that, actually, I don't know. Oh no, it was this. That. So again, you could call that B flat. I don't know what you'd want to call that. Either way, it's cool. I like it. And again, we have another. That E to F movement, that's what I was talking about, how this is what we want to land on. Or wait, what is it? Oh no, it's that. That's what we want to land on, but we instead take any one of those notes and do some motion with it. So you could do like... That's weird, maybe I wouldn't do that, but here we do this. So, it's weird, but I like it. Right? And that's down here. Right? So these two, or more than two chords, but these two little lines here are probably my favorite part of this whole thing.
My heart, my heart.
And here we go, guys.
You'll never know what's in my heart.
Whoa there. So again, if I tried to break down every one of those chords, we'd both be in for a long day. But
you'll never know what's in my heart.
Yeah, I like that. What's in my heart? Ba ba ba. So we sing like a full B flat chord or arpeggio there, you know.
In my heart.
So I knew I wanted to end on a B flat something or other. Actually, I think I might have just had this idea first.
You'll never know what's in my heart.
So that I could have just ended, more in a normal place. Like you'll never know what's in my heart, right? But I thought, no, that's a little too comfortable. This whole song is supposed to be like a little more unsettling. So if I go, well, that's kind of weird. So let me play with that.
You'll never know what's in my heart.
Then of course we couldn't just play a regular B flat chord. We also have to add that note because again, I love me my sharp 5. So we have, let me bring it down an octave because why not? So sorry. What all notes do we have in there? So we have an A, right? A D, a C, an F sharp, and then the B flat. So altogether it's nope, sorry. No, it's that. Sorry, guys. It's strange. Is there a C in there? There is a C. I said that, but I forgot it. It's up here. So it's weird. And what is that? I'm gonna see what it tries to say that is. Let's see if I can play all this at once. It says C9 13 flat 5 over B flat. I don't think that. No, I'd call it a B flat 9 major 7 sharp 11 sharp 5. That's what I'd call it, but what do I know? Honestly, very little. But that's how I wanted to end it. It's weird, but I like it. That describes my entire life.
You'll never know what's in my heart.
And boom, there it is. Well, guys, let me come back to you. Bam. So, guys. Yeah, that took a minute, didn't it? And I'm sorry, I know we were just all over the place, but again, I didn't really know how else to approach that song since, like, there's not much to latch onto like the other ones where, like it's very, I don't know, it's a bit unorthodox. But that's kind of what I like to just do these kind of pure, I understand this is purely kind of an experimental thing. Like, I can fully understand if somebody listens to this and doesn't really get it or doesn't enjoy it. I kind of just like seeing how far I can push it when it comes to harmony, just to make sure I've still got it. Honestly, like, sometimes I listen to my old arrangements, like Frosty the Snowman, for instance. Some of them I listen to and cringe horribly, but even the bad ones, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I even came up with that. That's, I think, just the byproduct of my kind of winging it approach, or just using my ear and not really having as much of a specific vocabulary or formal education, means that I can come up with some cool stuff, and then I'm listening back to it and I have no idea how I came up with it, and I couldn't even describe to you exactly what I did. And that can honestly make me feel sometimes like I don't understand. The feeling of not even understanding your own work is kind of strange sometimes. And so I always like to periodically do these types of things just to see that, like, I can still come up with it. And that's the fun thing, is like, as I spend more time in musical settings with others and do more research and watch more videos online and increase my vocabulary, I actually do start to understand more and more of what I'm doing, which is awesome. Still not all of it, clearly, as you saw today. I fumble through stuff, but like this past year I've been really trying to, like, actually meticulously compose stuff rather than just kind of throwing stuff around. Like, I'll transcribe it from the get-go in like 8 parts or 4 parts, so I can actually hand it to a group theoretically and have them sing it. And you've got to be a lot more intentional when you do that. and I found that's been a great exercise for me. But anyways, all that to say, yeah, this is really just kind of my own self-indulgent thing to do stuff like this, but I enjoy it and it's fun, and I hope you do as well. So I'm gonna leave you with this. What are we doing now going forward? So we've done this album that's been kind of my main focus for a while. I've got a few ideas in the works. One of them is sort of, it could be an album. My idea is to do a bunch of brass arrangements of like standard hymns, pretty much. So like, open up a hymnal. I've got a lot of hymns that I have sung for years, just being in church choirs, that I know very well and I really like. And I think it would be really fun to take them and arrange them for brass. I've already done one, and I've got ideas for the other ones. I'll just give you some teasers of what might be on the rep or on the set list. I've done "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing." I'm thinking "Be Thou My Vision," as I mentioned, "Crown Him with Many Crowns." What's the other one that I like? Holy Jesus, I think I really like that one. I'm trying to think of what the other ones were. Maybe like "Oh Worship the King." Da, 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 da. That one's a fun one. It's got some chromatic lines. Yeah, and I'm sort of sitting on that. I'll come back to that, think of some more ideas. But I thought that would be a really fun thing to do again, just to sort of really switch gears dramatically, and like try to be a bit more intentional about my composing, if that's the word you want to use, where I actually go into notation software and I'm actually doing it, very intentionally. And I would record that with myself, my dad, and maybe a little bit of my sister. She plays trombone. And we would cobble that together, and I'd maybe release that. So that's an idea, and I have no idea the timeline on that. So I'll be chipping away at that, I think. As far as YouTube stuff goes, again, I like to take breaks in between albums. I don't currently have any songs in the works. I kind of put everything into this album that I currently had. But I've got a few little tiny snippets that maybe in the next few months I could work up a single or two, as I normally do in the break periods. But I don't see myself really going into another album for quite a while. When I say quite a while, I mean, who knows? It could be like a year, it could be 6 months. I don't know. But there's nothing right now, and I'd like to switch gears. I am feeling inspired to do a few new medleys. We've got a few games on the horizon. Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream is coming out, and I was thinking of doing a Tomodachi Life medley. I always have these ideas, and then I actually have to like really dive into the soundtrack to see if it's feasible. Of course it's feasible, but it really has to like be something that I can hear, I can imagine it with the instruments that I have, which is like flute, melodica, vocals. And like sometimes I listen to a soundtrack and I'm like, I'm just not seeing it. This is going to be too difficult to pull off. I've had that problem with like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. That's why I haven't done a medley on those, even though I love the soundtrack so much. Is because it to me didn't lend itself well to a medley in the way that I typically do it. But I've been thinking maybe Tomodachi Life type thing. I'm sorry, you're hearing yelling. Maybe a what was it? What is it? Link Between Worlds. So I haven't done any of the 2D Zeldas, and I've done all the 3D Zeldas at this point, except for Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. And so I think Link Between Worlds was my first Zelda game. Well, I know it was, and I think it could be a really fun medley, because there's some really good tracks there that I think are like straightforward enough for me to pull off. And the other one, what was the other one? Maybe, I don't think I'll do a medley for this. Maybe, I don't know. I did one on Galaxy 1, and Galaxy 2 is the only 3D Mario that I haven't done one, and Odyssey, which is kind of a similar story to Galaxy, but that might be a good idea too. Man, I get so many ideas here. But I was thinking about doing maybe like one track from Galaxy 2 just to celebrate the movie, which is coming out. So I might do like Yoshi Star Galaxy or something like that. That one. Or something else from that game. So I'm thinking I'll switch gears and do some of my more, traditional medleys or smaller videos, maybe some arrangements. I have to feel kind of inspired to do an arrangement that's not a Christmas song now. Like, it's hard to think of those, but you know, we'll just see what happens. And I'm always open to suggestions, and requests and what have you. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this, and I'll be still maybe working on some like music videos for some of the songs on this album. I don't know. Again, I kind of have to be inspired with a specific idea to want to do that. I've been leaning more towards lyric videos lately, just because like I don't really have the tools to make a music video that I'm really happy with, but a lyric video is easy enough. I've been trying to get creative with those, but I don't know. We will see. Regardless, you'll be seeing me in some way, shape, or form, um, all the time. You can't escape from me. I promise. Um, you want to go? And Kate is badgering me again, so I'm gonna leave it right here, and I will see you next time. Peace out.